Hey YouTube, I got a video again today on the Yeager M. This is my final impressions and thoughts of this knife after owning it for a few weeks now, carrying it and using it quite often. It's going to be a little bit different format. I'm not going to go into specs on this one. I'll do some size comparisons like normal so you can get an idea of how big the knife is. But I hesitate to review knives like this because they are hard to get. This is a small batch run. You know, there was a first batch done by the second batch done by Riot, and it's one of those knives that's kind of polarizing, right? Because everyone wants one, but you can't get it. It's nowhere out there unless you pay exorbitant prices on the secondary market. So there's a couple size comparisons. It's very similar in size to a bug out in the Axon. It's a little bit smaller than the Axon, really close to the same size as the bug out, and your Para 3 is right here. So similar in size to that. So a really good EDC size. I like that about it. I like the blade shape is pretty wicked looking, right? It's like a Warncliffe blade, but it has that extra swedge up here on the top that looks pretty sick. Weighs in about 4 ounces, 4.3 ounces. Not bad in the weight for being a full titanium frame lock. There is milling, my bad, on the inside. If you guys are wondering why this looks this way, this is actually a customized one by Fanatic Edge. I picked it up on the secondary market, customized like this. It's got a green Cerakote with the flat dark earth pivot ring, and then the screws have the same kind of finish as does the back spacer. So it's a custom one by Fanatic Edge, in case you're wondering, because you're not going to find anyone else. They're actually, I've seen one other one like this, but it's not your standard one. These come in a flipper format or a non-flipper. I prefer the non-flipper. I don't own the non-flipper, but I would prefer it, but I just could not find one. And I got this for a reasonable price, so I said, you know what, I'll just grab one to check out the design. I would love the non-flipper. If you have a flipper and a non-flipper and want a flipper, we got a trade going. You know, I'm down to trade. So I almost made a trade not too long ago for it. You got your multiple deployment methods here, though. Even though it is a flipper, it is thumb hole. So you got your thumb. That didn't work very well, did it? There you go. And you've got your middle finger flick, and then you have, of course, your flipper, which has a nice jimping. And the flipper works well. And I'll explain why I think I'd prefer the non-flipper when I get into ergonomics of the knife. But overall, like, just the design element of this knife is fantastic. There is a small batch run coming out again of these. There's going to be a dealer exclusive and a Facebook group exclusive. Not going to be a lot available though, so it's going to be one of those knives that's pretty hard to find. But I will say this. This knife is pretty hyped. When I unboxed it, I had also just bought an Evo 2, which I just did a review on, which is now currently my reigning knife of the year. Before that, it was the Axon, and another fantastic design and knife. So these three, I think, right here are your knives of the year so far in 2020. The thing that sucks about that is they're not easy to get. Not one of them. The Axon's hard to get. Easier now that Joe Zafiro did the reserve function on his website, so you can actually go reserve one for $50 and get it in a future guaranteed knife in a future drop, but it could be like a year from now. So but it is more available than these two. I don't know if they're doing any more drops of these at all. Like I said, a very small batch of these coming back up. So that's what sucks, is that the three best knives you can buy right now are not very easy to buy. Most people are going to overpay big time on the secondary market. Overpaid on that one, overpaid a little bit on that one, and I got a good deal on this one. So I came out ahead, I think, in the long run, but it just sucks that these three knives, which I think are the best available in 2020 or 2021. What year am I in? Jeez. Is it 2020? Yes, it is. Who knows anymore, right? These are the three best knives available, and they're the hardest to get. And that's kind of sucks. They're not regular production. They're also just really hard to get on the secondary market. You know, you can't just search the forums and hopefully find one, because it's not. You can, but you'll most likely pay a lot more. The knife that I think that could impress a lot of people and it is readily available is the Mini Adamas. It's fantastic. Look at that color scheme. So similar. Very great and just an awesome design. Great knife. You saw my torture test video on it. and it's readily available. So that is a plus, you know. But I still put these three ahead of it, just overall design, functionality, or not necessarily functionality, design, just overall aesthetics, the action. I mean, look at this. Little shake. I can get it to drop all the way on my finger if I want it to. I just don't do that because I don't hate getting cut. I get cut by that little edge, that heel, all the time on my hand. So the action is fantastic. I mean, it's like so buttery smooth. The flipping action's good. The middle finger flick is where it's at. That's what I usually do. So speaking, because we're talking about action, it's superb there. Cutting performance is amazing as well. Such a good, nicely thin ground knife. Great blade shape for EDC, in my opinion. I have a video coming up on that topic based on my survey results. It's 15 thousandths behind the edge, about. You can see quite a bit of cardboard wear on this guy. It's a cardboard absolute destroyer of cardboard. It's like perfect for if you have processed a lot of cardboard. It's amazing at that. It's really what it excels at, in my opinion, which I do cut a lot of that. So for me, this is a really fantastic knife for that. So cutting performance is awesome. Off the charts good. The ergonomics are good. I think they could be better, only if you have the non-flipper. Because my hand fits back here just fine, and it's a pretty neutral handle, and I have no problem. But if you have bigger hands, you might run into an issue. And you can kind of choke up on this. It's not a full choil, so it feels a little awkward. If you didn't have the flipper tab in the way, though, you could rest your finger right there on that flat. And those that have the non-flipper probably do that. So I think the non-flipper ergos would be better than this flipper model. But they're still good enough for me that it's not an issue. It's very comfortable in the hand, very comfortable in all grips. And a lot of the use that I put it through, all comfortable. No, didn't feel hot spots. Your carrying, your clip is it does kind of rest on the lock bar, but it doesn't seem to cause any problems with that. And it does have decent, it is pretty stiff though. I would kind of knock the pocket clip. You saw how hard that was. This isn't a thick material, it's just a hank. Getting NIR jeans can be kind of a chore sometimes, so it is a little stiff, and there needs to be a little bit more, you can hear it clink. You know, you're not going to lose it. It's for sure not going anywhere, but it could use a little bit more clearance there. It's just a little stiff, maybe a little more spring to it, but it's not bad, and it carries nicely. You know, weight-wise, it's on the heftier side. I'm not sure if I weighed it or not. 4.3. So it's not bad. I think I might have weighed it already. I'm losing my mind today. So it's not bad on weight. Good size, good ergonomics overall. I would, like I said, I think the non-flipper would be even better ergonomically, but this is still good. Fit and finish it's what you expect from a yacht. It's fantastic. Look at that action. It came completely centered. I haven't had to touch the pivot, hadn't had to put Loctite, had to do nothing. Just flipped the play the heck out of this knife, and it hasn't moved a muscle. No blade play up or down, anything like that. So fit and finish is fantastic. So overall, value. That's where things get super muddy with these short production run knives, because the value when they first were sold, and I don't know what they were first sold for, so someone down in the comments let me know, I think was good. What I paid for it was good, but like the secondary market prices are insane, and that kind of hurts the value of the knife. It is fantastic. It is a top 3 knife of the year. I would put it number 2 right now. I would actually rank it a little bit higher than the Axon. I do like the Axon a lot, and I think it's a great design, but for now, this is kind of how I have them ranked. It's very close between these two. It's not close. I mean, this one is head and shoulders, not head and shoulders, but it just shines above, in my opinion. These two are very close. They're very similar blade shapes. Obviously, a liner lock versus a frame. Multiple opening methods on this guy, too. Fantastic action on this guy. Ergonomics are great. Cutting performance is great. So they're both just really good knives, but I would kind of rank them like that. So definitely a top 3 knife of the year for me. I'm glad I picked one up, especially at the price I got it for. I got it for what I consider to be a good deal, especially because of how secondary market prices are on these. So like I said, the value conversation is a little skewed that way. But overall, guys, I love the Yeager M. I think it's a fantastic knife. It is an awesome design by Brian Brown Knives. It is just, it's awesome, and I hope they make more of them. I hope that's more easily available to the masses, because I almost hate to make videos on knives like this because it's so hard to get. So you come back to this knife, you know, you come back to this 6 months from now, or even 3 months from now, or right now, you watch this video and you're like, I need to have that. Where do I buy it? Good luck. And I kind of hate that. I wish these awesome designs like this were just more readily available. I really do. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap up my video. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.